Hello everyone, welcome back, and what are we doing? Well, if you've seen the last video on a McCulloch teardown, it was kind of a not very long, silent kind of teardown. I do those, I don't know if they get better views over time for some reason, not sure why, but they do. And I kind of acted like this was some big secret, and I'm sure most of you noticed the decomp in it just maybe right when we got to the back of the saw. But that's a Pro Mac 700 engine assembly, a very healthy one at that. And we had that in a old beat up, just very rough looking Mac 1010 chassis, which is basically just the tank's about the only difference, believe it or not. So what we're going to do is I wanted to put together a 1010, and basically it'll be a 1010. It's going to say it's a 1010. It's got a 1010 serial number in it, but we're putting the 70cc engine in it, and the only way you can do that is if you have the whole assembly, the crankshaft, the oil tank and everything. If you don't have all of that, I'm not going to say you can't make it work, but it would probably be a challenge. With that said, I've done this a bunch of times. I think the first Pro Mac 700 I got here was like a parts unit. It was not in the world's best shape. I had a 1010 that I'd purchased. Seemed like the cylinder on it maybe was no good, and it was a Pro Mac 1010, and well, we built a saw, and I swear it could be wrong, but there's video on the channel of that. How I like to assemble these, and that's kind of what this is going to be. I'll start with these two bolts. If you're lucky, the insulator block and the gaskets will either stick on the tank or on the engine of the saw. If not, you can just kind of line it all up, run those two bolts through, and 9 times out of 10 you can get all that set down in there. And the first thing you got to do is take that oil rod and put it into the oil pump. If you go back to the video where we tore this down, you're going to have a short bolt, a long bolt. Do not mix these up. It will cause you a nightmare. Ask me how I know. The longer bolt will go up top always and through the back of the tank. How many people noticed I did not even have the shroud over the engine when I set that tank on there? That long bolt is going to drop down through the top and go through that shroud. One thing I'd like to stress is make sure this trigger is back. I've put so many of these tanks on, it's really easy not to pay attention, and it'll be springed back, get caught under there. You'll reef it down and then find out you just got to take it all back loose to get your trigger out when you go to hook the trigger up. Something I like to do, I'll come in and start this screw that goes up through the tank before I tighten down the 3 bolts in the rear. I'm going to start by running these 2 down in the center. And I like to go back over those with the ratchet just to get a feel for them, and then remember you have your tabs that you need to bend back over against your bolts. There'll be one under this one as well on the back. And don't forget the front cover after you've tightened down that Allen bolt that goes up in the front of the tank. And there should be some kind of gasket between the oil tank and the fuel tank. Not because of fuel leakage, but I guess to keep, maybe if you got the saw up on its side or for some reason you're storing it upside down, might keep your oil in your tank from leaking out. Okay guys, we got our bottom brace on. I know people are wondering why I'm doing this. Don't get me wrong, the Pro Mac 1010 runs good. I kind of took one apart and redone it a while back. Actually, some of the parts that this tank came off of, and thing ran good, had good compression when I tore it down. It was just something I bought online, and when I went back together with it, after cleaning all the carbon out of the combustion chamber and off of the top of the piston, out of the exhaust port, you guys get the idea, you know, 50-something-year-old machine full of carbon. It lost a lot of compression, and well, it didn't run so good after, so we got that sitting over there for another project, that engine. We may try to do a removable head or something on it, but I've got a new set of rings here somewhere, OE rings, for a 1010. I'll just have to dig around and find them, but this engine here has been completely rebuilt. Seals, I mixed around and found nice bearings to go on each side. It's got new OEM McCulloch rings in it. I've had this exact engine in, I don't know, maybe this may be like the third different build. I never hardly trust that impact. I went back over everything I put in with it, and this bolt that goes through the tank, it was tight, maybe tight to some people, but not tight to my liking. All the rest of them were a-okay. And don't forget your coil wire. These have electronic ignition. Your later Pro Mac 1010s have Pro Mac ignition. I think almost all of your 7-10s and your Pro Mac 700s had electronic. Some of the real early 70cc units might have still had points. I'm about sure they did, but about all the later ones had electronic. The best piece of advice I can give you on this starter cover, which is pretty straightforward, you've got 3 long screws. They're kind of self-tapping looking, kind of sharp on the end. I think I've come to terms almost all of this stuff is just some weird machine thread. I've been to a parts house before trying to find screws to fit these things, and they just can't match nothing up. But I'm sure someone will come in the comments and tell me exactly what they all are, but they're not anything common. Some of them may be, but a lot of them are not. That hole probably could have used chased or blowed out, or maybe some spray sprayed in it, or maybe a different screw. So I did tear 2 of these down. And you got one here. I ain't gonna bore you with cranking them all down on video. Just kind of just showing you where they're all at. This will be a really short screw. It goes into one of your coil screws, and you want to make sure the one you put here is short screw, or it'll go through and go into your flywheel and your engine will not pull over. You want to kind of just tighten them all down. Like I said, that engine's really healthy. She has a good thump to her. If you're unfamiliar, this will go inside of the handlebar down here, and that's kind of the sequence how it goes. Those screws will go through the oil tank assembly and into that handlebar. And if you'll remember, when we tore the other saw down in the last video, it kind of had some longer, larger bolts and some kind of bush fix on the handle of the saw. I don't know what was up there, but it was that way when I purchased it online. And guys, if this is a saw that you plan on using regularly, which some people do, believe it or not, they love running the vintage stuff over the new stuff. Me personally, I've just kind of got spoiled to the new stuff, and the vintage stuff kind of sits, but we may get this one out and do something with it. Loctite a lot of this stuff. I don't know, I'd recommend using red, but get you some blue Loctite and Loctite all of this stuff, and anywhere there's a tab you can bend over, or somewhere you could stick some little lock washers, because you know they're a hard tail saw. There's no suspension at all. Things vibrate loose over time. And lastly, we got long bolt with a it's like a flanged washer, and that should have like a fitting that goes up inside of the handle to keep it from crushing when you tighten it down. All of them, it's not there, it's fell out over time, but Luckily that one's still there. Looks like somebody's put some heat shrink or something around that handle at one time. I've actually thought about trying to put some heater hose around one. I don't know how well that'll pan out. Obviously you'd have to get it, you know, really hot in a boiling pot of water, but I've done stuff like that before. But that handle there is in good enough shape, good enough to suit me. So the carburetor is something I prefer to tighten down by hand because of the insulator that's under it. You'll have a gasket, you'll have that little triangle looking insulator, and then another gasket. Luckily all of these kind of stuck into place. Alright, and here's the orientation of how all that goes. You put that choke linkage on first and pull it around and put your little, I don't know what to call that, it's like a little rubber band with a rubber ball on each end. That's some ingenuity there is about all I can say, but it worked. And evidently worked good because that's the original and it's still fine. You can bring that choke rod around and it'll clear the boss for this bolt if you get it right down against the bottom of the tank, and then you can fish it up in there and hook it into the choke rod itself or the choke knob. This fuel line, I have no idea how long that's going to last. I would assume it's going to be fine. I may or may not have uploaded a short on that. I've tried for years to find a good fuel line that fit these. If you find one somebody sells that actually fits the tank, well, they don't last very long. They turn really hard. I had two different ones here. They were both junk. That is the fuel line for like a 036 MS 360. It just popped right in the tank and fit nice and snug. I did cut the end of it off to get it to go onto the barb of the carburetor. It's what I had laying here. I've seen a lot of bush fixes over the years here in the shop, and as of right now, I checked tank pressure, it seems to be holding good. So lastly, I'm going to get the air filter and cover, and we'll be ready to see if it fires up and runs. Well, guys, see his runner. That chain is super dull. And that's carburetor number 2. That one seems fine, but that low jet, as you can see, when you put that style of carburetor on that tank, it's kind of a bear to adjust. The other carb, the needle and seat, was sticking open in it, so probably means it needs pulled apart and cleaned, kit put in it. It may be alright, but that's kind of the thing with these. It could either be the needle and seat or check valve in it. Pretty sure I know where that carburetor came from that I had on there. Yeah, it is what it is, but yeah, she's a runner, guys. I'll get a chain good and ground up, and we'll see what this thing will do sooner than later. But right now it's kind of too hot to really worry about it here. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a good day.